I am just chopping up 1 onion because that's going to go into your meat mixture to flavor it. So I'm finishing up my vegetable prep before I get everything started, because once you start, it'll take about 5 minutes to put it together. 1 onion. Set that aside for 1 sec. Here I have 3 pieces of white bread. That's going to help bind your meatloaf together. You want to make that into breadcrumbs. So you just tear it roughly into pieces and then grind it up until it's fine. Since you're grinding up all your vegetables in the food processor anyway, I think it's really worthwhile using fresh breadcrumbs like this. It's so easy to make them, so I highly recommend it. If you're gonna use dry breadcrumbs instead, you're gonna need to soak those in a little bit of milk. In this bowl, I have 12 ounces each of ground beef, ground pork, and ground veal. The beef is very, very lean. Use it like a 90% lean. So you add your breadcrumbs straight to that bowl. That's about 2.5 cups of breadcrumbs. And then the onion, 1 carrot, 1 stalk of celery, 2 cloves of garlic, and 1/2 cup of fresh flat leaf parsley leaves. Lots and lots of flavor and moisture is going to come from these vegetables, you'll see. Mix together. I ground this pretty fine. You can see that it's almost like a mush, really. That can go into your meat mixture. Tell me what other kinds of recipes you want to see. More breakfast? More desserts? I'm here for you. To this, add 1 large egg. That will also help bind. 1/4 cup of ketchup. Classic flavor. You can't leave that out. Well, I mean, you could, but do you really want to? It's so delicious. A tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. A tablespoon of coarse salt. If you're using fine salt, please use less. Use like a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Now you just mix everything together. You're supposed to use your hands. So go ahead and use your hands. I know. You'll have to wash them. It's just the way that it goes. Your hands are the perfect tool for this because you can mix them just enough, but not too much. You want to make sure that all of the different meats are combined with the breadcrumbs and all of that flavoring gets distributed throughout your ground meat. You're going to want to bake this in a 9 by 5 inch loaf pan and have your oven preheating to 375 degrees. This is a really big meatloaf, has a lot of substance, so there'll be plenty of leftovers unless you're a huge family or everybody has a humongous appetite. You can also bake this in 2 smaller loaves if you want to. This is going to get a glaze, but I'm going to go wash my hands before I do that. Now for the glaze, it's 1/2 cup of ketchup and 2 tablespoons of light brown sugar mixed together. You don't want to miss out on this. I said this before with the ketchup, but it is a classic flavor profile for meatloaf. It cooks to a beautiful glaze. It gets all caramelized. Why would you want to skip that? You guys are all being like, why? Did I ever say I wanted to skip it? I never said I did. Brush the top. If you like recipes like these, click like below and make sure to subscribe because we've got plenty more recipes just like this, but different. This is a generous amount of glaze. It's gonna flavor everything really nicely. Get this onto a rimmed baking sheet. That just helps in transporting it back and forth, and into your oven at 375. An instant read thermometer inserted in the very center should read 160. So that'll take an hour, maybe even an hour and 20 minutes. It is done. It has cooled a little bit. Obviously, you're going to need to let it cool. Let it sit for a little while and it'll absorb some of the juices that have come out, and then it's ready to eat. You'll see that this is shrunk a little bit. There might be some fat in the pan. When you take it out of the oven, you can pour that off if you want to. Slice it up. Probably should have taken it out of the pan to slice it. You can definitely do that. But I was too impatient. I just wanted a bite right now. This meatloaf is so delicious. All those vegetables added moisture and flavor. It's got the classic crust on top. Even if you've made all my other meatloaves, this might be your new favorite. Enjoy.